How's my audio? Good. All right, we are back. We have been teaching you all about live streaming and live production for the last several years, and we focused a lot on PTZ cameras and setting up with better cameras like the Panasonic CX10 and the CX350 that I'm talking into right there, or the BirdDog P100 that's over there. But today we want to talk about how you can take your existing equipment. You already own a camera. You don't have to replace your camera. HD camera, 4K camera. It could be a camera that's 3 or 4 years old. As long as your camera is giving you clean HDMI output or SDI output, you can integrate it into live production and live streaming. So today we're going to go over those workflows with you on how easy it is. It can be very inexpensive or it can be very expensive. So I want to start with that. So this first slide, I wanted to say, how can I use my existing camera and video gear in a modern live streaming workflow? Well, I really thought about, a lot of people are doing stuff on Zoom, and we've got 3 levels of cameras that people are using with their Zoom teams. The first is they're using the camera that's built into their laptop, hit or miss. Some laptops have better cameras, some don't. Chromebooks clearly have cameras, but they're cheaper cameras. The next thing is to get a little webcam, which is nice, but it tends to be fixed. It tends to be looking at you as a kind of weird, odd angle because of the way it does, and webcam images tend to be very flat. They don't have like depth to them, a depth of field. Whereas if you can go with an actual camera, a camcorder camera, you'll see that your video looks more realistic. The lighting tends to not be as blown out, and you get more control. So one of the things that I tell people is especially if you've got a home office, if you can set up a camera that maybe isn't directly in front of you, but slightly off to the side a little bit where your lighting works better, and you can pick your camera angle based on how the lighting is in your room, avoiding like backlight from a open window or a window blind and things like that, you can really come across looking a lot more professional simply because you're using a real camera versus a webcam or the built-in camera that's on your laptop or your device. So I wanted to go into this a little bit, and today's show we're going to go into all those different reasons. But if we could just build up this slide full screen for a little bit, Adam, I just want to go over the 4 points that we're going to talk about. And that is, we're going to talk about upgrading for Zoom or Teams, going to YouTube or Facebook better, use as a second or third camera for multi-camera, and then the next one is using it as an NDI source in a more evolved professional type solution. And we've done a lot of stuff on NDI before, and at the end of this show we're going to come back into NDI with NDI converters. But let's start with the most simple thing there is out there, which is, did you know, and if you've watched our shows the answer should be yes, but did you know that you can get an inexpensive adapter that can allow you to go HDMI into USB that now can easily be captured by your laptop, your PC, your Mac, your desktop, so that any application that runs and sees a webcam will automatically pick up these devices through USB. So I love these 3, and these 3 are the real 3 that I want to concentrate on. This is the 4K Connect from Atomos. It's under $100. This is the new Roland converter, the USB I believe UVC-01, which is $250, a nice rugged product. I was very impressed with that. And this is an oldie but goodie that we've been selling for a long time, the AViO HD. Now, these are great products. They work fantastic. They get the job done, and it's really simple to use them because all you have to do, man, this is sensitive today, is plug the USB into your camcorder device and HDMI into it, and it's going to light up automatically. It's going to show up as a webcam in your application, whether your application is Zoom, Teams, vMix, Facebook, YouTube app, whatever app you're running. So I want to go over a little video clip now that Adam put together for us. It's really a good job on just showing how easy these HDMI to USB devices are to use, these encoders.
HDMI to USB encoders are a great way to bring your legacy cameras and switchers into today's live streaming workflows. These devices allow you to take the HDMI output of your camera or switcher and convert it to a USB feed that your computer can recognize as if it is a webcam. Devices like the Atomos Connect, Roland UVC-01, or Epiphan AVIOs can easily bring your HDMI camera into Zoom, Teams, or the video conferencing app of your choice. They also allow you to stream to Facebook, YouTube, or other destinations from your camera right to your computer. There are also great HDMI switchers like the Roland VR-1HD or the RGBlink Mini and Mini Plus that have a USB program output that functions the same way.
So there you have it. These are great little devices ranging in price from $59 all the way up to $499 for the AViO 4K. And now we put together this table for you. And this is something I started doing about a month ago on our shows, and Adam and the team builds me a little table like comparing all the items, and we show you the item and the price, and we pick a few features that we think are the most important features to look at when you're picking these. So we have the price, we have whether it's HD or 4K, we have what kind of inputs you're going to get to it, and then the build quality. The reason I wanted the build quality is because this little Atomos Connect is a wonderful product for $59, but it is not built nearly as rugged and as, you know, sturdy and reliable as, say, the AViO HD or the Roland product. So if you're going to be just streaming every now and then occasionally, you know, a good thing to go with. If you're going to be streaming multiple times a week for half hour, 2 hours at a time, heat becomes your enemy. So these more rugged units have better heat dissipation, right word? Hey, how do you like that? They could go for it. But what I really wanted to talk to you guys about was something that's kind of cool that a lot of people don't realize. But when you look at this list, we've got a little product on there, the RGBlink Mini on the bottom. The RGBlink Mini is a $299 mixer. It's a 4 HDMI input mixer. We love this product. We've done a lot of shows on it, but what's really cool about it is the USB output of this device can be fed into your laptop, and it makes it look like it's a webcam. So think about that. I can now get two cameras in for two. I can use it as a simple converter if I want. I can use it for two cameras. What I like about it is for a teacher or corporate presentation or even a house of worship wanting to bring in lyrics or things, you can have a laptop's HDMI out feeding into it, and now you can mix between the two as either a picture-in-picture or side-by-side, whatever works for your show. And I think that's really cool because, you know, if you're in Zoom or Teams, if you try to go full screen to your PowerPoint or something, you know, you lose everyone else on the screen. This is a way where you can mix it and take control of it. So very cool about that. And then we get into, wait, there's even more mixers. So, you know, if you're going to go to mix, you can mix and stream. So now we've got a few devices over here. And Adam, that's the stuff that's on this table if we can zoom into it. But I want to stress that the VH1D requires the Roland converter. So basically what you've got on this next that you see is the white box over there. That's the VR-1HD $995, a great AV mixer that can plug right into your laptop or PC with the USB output. We've got the RGBlink Mini Plus, which is $499. What I like about that product is it adds chroma key, it adds PTZ control, and it also allows you to do an overlay of a graphic. We've got the VO2 HD from Roland, which is a nice little AB mixer that's really cool that we've done some shows on. And then we have the V1 HD. Both of those don't have streaming, but when you combine them in a kit with this little converter, they do, and Roland's got kits that are extremely attractively priced with these converters. In fact, the V1 HD with the UVC-01 at $695 is a complete switching and streaming solution, so we like that a lot. So recommending that. As you can see, you can go from a simple single input to four inputs or more with some additional features and capabilities. So I really want to stress that your cameras, you've had them for years. You might have an HD camera that's got HDMI out that you've had for 4 or 5 years. It's still going to be better than a webcam. It's still going to be better than the camera that's built into your computer, your PC, your laptop. Now, what I also love about the cameras is you can get two cameras to give different angles. Like right here, I'm turning at this camera and then I go here. I'm on the front camera in a different little view. That's nice. I'm on a virtual background, but even if you're on a Zoom, if you've got a Zoom that's a little wider shot, maybe that's, you know, with the stuff that's behind you in your office, but then another camera that's more a close-up of you, well, just mixing between those two shots, cutting them back and forth, is going to keep your audience more involved on something like a Zoom or a Teams call. If you're doing something where you're streaming directly to Facebook or YouTube, you can see that this is going to be dramatically better with one camera or more cameras than using your phone. And mobile streaming, mobile video, I get it, TikTok, I get all that stuff, but the truth of the matter is to make professional looking videos, you need video cameras. And that's what we're talking about in today's show, taking your existing video cameras, your existing video equipment, and bringing them in to live video conferencing, live streaming, live production. So let's talk about the different ways that we can upgrade your video conferencing capabilities with this existing equipment. Can you bring this up full screen so we can go over it? So we can use old cameras to complement new PTZ cameras. We can use multiple cameras and switch. There's affordable switches we went through with USB output, and there are also switches that can be paired with an HDMI, a USB device like the ones up here in order to bring the video in. But then there's products that are a little more involved. Oh, you know what? Before we get into that, this is a really cool thing. We've done several live streaming shows over the last year and a half to help teachers and educators understand how they can stream better. So this was an example from one of our older shows, but this is really showing you how you can use a mixer. In this case, it's the RGBlink Mini, but it could be the Roland. It could be, you know, any mixer on here. It could be the YoloBow. It doesn't matter. But what we're showing you is that with the one HDMI input could be a camera that's on you. The other one could be your presentation coming in. So now you can mix the two together with a picture-in-picture, and you can even add a third camera, because let's say you're a teacher and you're able to stream from your classroom and you're teaching synchronously, so you have some students who are home and some who are there. I can set this up and I can have a camera that's on me. I can have a camera that's on me with the board, that's a normal chalkboard that I'm drawing on. Then I can have another camera that, let's say, is on the skeleton or the map of the United States or whatever I'm going over to. And I can easily mix and have that feed directly into my Zoom, my Meets, my Microsoft Teams. So for education, I just love the idea of using a multiple camera system. And I think a lot of educators, you guys were heroes. I love what you did this year to get through, but I really think that some of you are going to have said, hey, I could do this even better. And what I'm going to urge you to do is talk to your principals, talk to your administrators and say, listen, if you give me the tools and resources, in 2020 I made this work. In 2020 I can make it so much easier and better and more engaging for the students. And I know a lot of school districts, a lot of schools are allowing a teacher who's showing this kind of enthusiasm and desire, giving them the ability to have like a test room or a little test lab where they can pilot and show this stuff and do a little bit more. So that's our kind of educational segue in today's show. But let's come back now to the main show, because one of the things that we also have is, hey, I've got this great camera or I've got a mixing board, and all I want to do is add some streaming to my existing solution. Let's say you're a church and you've already got an audio mixing board, you've got a video mixing board. Now what you want to do is be able to stream out on the internet to your favorite CDN. Well, we've got several devices that'll do that, and those devices are over here. And I'm just going to go over them a little bit and talk about what we have on the table over there. We have the LiveU Solo, we have the Epiphan Pearl Nano, we have the YOLO box on its side there, and then we have the Matrox HDX, Monarch and the Monarch HDX. And that's just some of the streaming devices you could use. You could also use the VidiU X from Teradek. So let's go through this little table of what we've got on these, and I guess make it full screen, have it come back and forth, because I'm going to be doing a lot of talking now. You know, the YOLO Live box is a great way that you can go to your CDN, and what we like about it is you can go to multiple CDNs. So with the YOLO box, I can actually go to Facebook and YouTube and my own corporate, you know, site if I wanted to. It's got two HDMI inputs and a USB input. You can record to an SD card, and it'll stream over Wi-Fi, Ethernet, or cellular data from a SIM card, built-in touchscreen. We've done a lot of shows on the YOLO box. The Monarch products from Matrox, the next ones on the grid that you see there, what I really love about those is they let you record at one definition while you stream at another. So I can record at full HD resolution while streaming at, let's say, 720p for Facebook, so that I can now have stuff for post-production and regular production. The difference between the Monarch and the Monarch HDX is simple. One is HDMI, one is HDMI and SDI, and the HDX means dual, so it's dual encoders, dual streaming. Next, we have the VidiU X, which is a great little on-camera device for $6.99, the most inexpensive product on this list. HDMI input, you can record to an SD card. It'll let you stream via Ethernet, Wi-Fi, or cellular, and you can bond any of those three together. It does not have actual cellular bonding. You can't bond two cell signals together, but it's very, very cool where you can add the cell modem and the Wi-Fi together. The LiveU Solo is available in two flavors. It's available in HDMI only or HDMI and SDI, and that product, as we've done a lot of shows on, allows you to take two cellular modems, bond the signal together so that you could bring your bandwidth wherever you are. This is really great if you're going to be shooting outdoors where you may not have Wi-Fi or Ethernet or any other kind of network connectivity. Through that, you can do that. And both the LiveU Solo and the Solo SDI are available in kits with 2 or 3 modems and data plans. We've done a bunch of shows on it where you can have everything you need one-stop shopping, and be up and running in a couple of days. And then the last product on the table is the Epiphan Pearl Nano, which is really, to me, the world's most powerful and versatile and flexible and reliable encoder. It's $14.95. It's not cheap, but what I love about it is you've got two inputs, HDMI and SDI, and you can combine those together. You can't switch between them, but it gives me presets where I can preset up and lay out a whole thing. So I could have, with the Pearl, me on the screen and a PIP corner, just like we have here. That would be, my production or what I'm talking about, my PowerPoint. I can also allow it to be two cameras coming in side by side, or one shrunk, one full. What I like about the Pearl Nano is it supports SRT, which is a technology we'll get into in other shows as we have. But SRT really allows you to do point-to-point remote distance connectivity with low latency so that I can have a camera in one part of the world and a mixer like a TriCast in the other part of the world, and they can talk to each other and control my show remotely. Super cool technology there. The next thing is we're going to flip the bit a little bit. We're going to go to a technology that we've done many shows on called NDI. NDI is a network device interface. It was created by NewTek a few years ago, and NDI allows you to take HDMI or SDI signals and convert them into IP so that you can connect NDI devices using a standard Ethernet connection. Those devices give you more than just connectivity. It's more than the video going down that pipe. As we've done a lot of shows on, NDI also lets you have control signals, tally, the ability to control a PTZ camera, comms. It's a two-way communication over those single Ethernet pipes. So we're going to go into a whole bunch of converters now, and converters really fit into two flavors. Well, three flavors. There's encoders. Encoders let you take HDMI into a device and then turn it into NDI to feed into a TriCast or Wirecast gear, vMix, whatever you want. There's decoders, which allow you to take any network jack on the network that your mixer is on, can now be selected as an output that encoder can now be feeding a TV monitor. Great for overflow rooms, great for using, if you're doing some editorial stuff, you want the director to be in another room. And then there's units that do both. They do encode and decode. So let's go into the next. Here's an example of like the Mondo workflows. If we could bring this up full screen for a little bit, what I really wanted to stress is I can use an NDI encoder to bring cameras, PTZ cameras, other computers, other mixers devices into my mixer. In this case, we're showing you a TriCast or TC1. I can also use the output to power screens, or I can have the output to then be feeding into something else, such as Zoom, YouTube, Teams, Skype, all through NDI. These apps can talk to each other. And one of the things I like to stress to people is, that's what we do here with our laptop. I'm running an NDI application on this laptop, and you can see no wires at all. It's going into our TriCaster. I meant to advance the screen. There we go. Did I break something? Probably.
No, you just right-clicked it.
Okay, here we go. And you can see that it's going back on, and now here's our big screenshot of all the different encoders we show. So can you just throw that up on the screen? Because I think I'm not going to go into every single one there, but I want to stress how many different choices you have. We've got HD, we've got 4K, we've got 4K in, we've got 4K decode, we've got encoder decoders, we've got quadcoders. So let's go into the big list of NDI converters. Now, we did a separate show about a month ago, Oliver and Adam, on the converters where we really went into them. We broke this list down a lot further, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but as you can see, we've got NDI converters starting with the flex in and outs at $399, all the way up to the big Bird Dog 4K quad for $19.95. And one of the things I also want to stress is that the NewTek Spark Plus IO 4K, two of those come with a TriCaster Mini 4K bundle. So there's a lot of different ways to go about doing this. And now that we're talking about the 4K, the NDI converters, let's go into some NDI devices. Now these are encoders that all will let you encode to higher bit rates and to bring in old HDMI sources and NDI sources as well. So we've got the Wowzer encoders, we've got the Pearl Mini and the Pearl 2. The Pearl 2 supports NDI and SRT. We've got the Telestream Wirecast gear products. Those are dedicated boxes that run Wirecast that let you do switching and mixing and encoding and multi-camera live production. Then we've got the TriCaster. You see that there, the TC4K, the TC Mini 4K. And then, it's not on this slide because it's getting a little bit more expensive, but we run our show on a TriCaster TC1, and that's like the full-blown TriCaster. And now there's even a bigger TriCaster, the TC2, more for broadcast people, loaded with features and I/O and stuff like that. So if you're interested in upgrading maybe you're a house of worship or an auditorium, or maybe you're a government doing city council meetings or something, or a corporate video, and you're looking to not just use your existing equipment, but upgrade. Maybe you have a mixer or a switcher that's older, that's not in encoding NDI world. We've got a lot of different options for you. We're here to help you. You can give us a call at 800-323-2325. We've got live people who use this gear all the time who can help you with your questions about it. Adam's available on the phone, so is Oliver. Those guys produce my show all the time. You can get me to troubleshoot if you need me. We've got Jim. We've got a crew here who's ready to help you. And also, I wanted to stress that if you're looking into one of these higher-end systems and you really want a local guy who can come in and deliver it, train you, make sure it's all set up, not just set it up, but run wires and test it with connectivity, we have local dealers throughout the country. We'd be happy to talk to you, figure out what you need, and then hand you off to the local dealer who can bring it home and get you a quote and get you all set up and going. So that's kind of our show today. I have this chart. We can bring it up full screen. I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time on it. We'll have this chart embedded in our YouTube metadata and also on our blog post. We put it on the blog. But as you can see, we've got a lot of options for you here. If you've got a camera or two that's an older camera, we're going to help you get it into zoom using some of these encoders like you see here. We're going to help you get it into multiple cameras with a mixer if you want. We've got encoders over here. We've got the USB capture devices. We've got the NDI encoders in. I wanted to talk about one other thing. And Adam, thanks for throwing this slide in, because one of the things is a lot of people are shooting outdoors now that it's summertime. And one of the things with outdoors is that viewfinder just isn't enough. And if you're doing an event like a live sporting event or a graduation or a wedding, well, you want to record more than those DSLR cameras, will allow you to record to. So we really recommend pairing those with an Atomos Ninja or Shogun. That's going to let you get the high-res, high-bright screen. It's going to let you get unlimited recording, and you can always take the HDMI output of that into one of these devices like the Atomos Connect or the AViO HD or 4K, and now plug that into your laptop and be streaming, or plug that HDMI output right into something like a LiveU Solo and be streaming from, maybe your graduation this year is going to be at a football field, a turf football field or something, because you're outdoors. So, you could do all that stuff. Now, the other cool thing is we're going to be doing a show next week or the week after. I think it's going to be next week, but it might have to push on some new Atomos stuff. There's some new Atomos Ninja products and Ninja bundles. We're really excited to tell you all about them. And one of the reasons why I'm saying it might be next week or the week after is I'm not going to do the show if I can't have the goods in my hand to show people what I'm talking about, because they're just sexy little suckers, and I love them, and I think it just wouldn't be fair to do a show on Atomos monitors and not have them here to do it with. So that's kind of a wrap on our show today. I hope you learned a little bit. What do you know? No guest, and I actually kept the show to the 20 minutes that I'm supposed to keep it to. Not a bad thing. So today's show is all about how to use your existing cameras and do streamings that's better. Live streaming, live video conferencing. Like I said, if you're doing Teams, you're doing Zoom, it can look a lot better using a camcorder versus the camera in your laptop or a webcam. If you're a church or a school or an auditorium and you want to do streaming, you can replace your mixer with a mixer that does streaming, a high-end system, or you can just add an encoder on the output, or you can even have the output go right into one of these and have this feed into a laptop that's feeding directly into Wirecast, vMix, YouTube, Facebook, you know it. There's a lot of different ways to skin that cat to get you up and going and streaming. It's like I say during the show, it's my motto this year. In 2020, we figured out how to do all this stuff. In 2021, we're making it work better, we're making it look better, we're making it easier. And our mission at Video Guys is to make your transition to live streaming and live production and live conferencing and live remote education and live worship and streaming worship better than you did in 2020. And if you didn't do it in 2020, we're going to help you get started in 2021. But if you were doing it last year, We're committed to making the tools and resources available to you to do it even better. This is Gary from VidiU Guys. Thank you for tuning in. Adam already ran this stuff. You know, YouTube love us, Facebook love us. We're on Instagram now. I think we're even putting some TikToks up there now, Adam. We're going crazy. I don't understand what TikTok is. It's not meant for people in my demographic, but we're going to throw some stuff up there because I know there's people on TikTok doing some incredibly creative video stuff. So why should we let them know that there's more stuff than just your iPhone or Android phone, you know, to shoot those TikTok videos with. So I'm not saying we're going to do a show on TikTok video, but by the same regards, we're happy to be on there. Maybe we'll get some new viewers, Instagram, all that good stuff. What I ask all the time is if you like our stuff, if you like these shows, when you see them on YouTube or whatever, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a share, help spread the love, help spread the VidiU Guys knowledge to your friends and your family and your fellow live video streamers and producers. This is Gary from VidiU Guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Thank you for joining us for this week's VidiU Guys live webinar. We go live every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on our Facebook and YouTube pages with the latest news in live streaming, post-production, and storage solutions. Join us next week for our webinar on Atomos monitors and recorders. In the coming weeks, we'll also be streaming an excellent webinar on SanDisk storage solutions. VidiU Guys is available Monday through Friday. Give us a call at 1-800-323-2325. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram to stay connected with all of our updates. And you can like us on Facebook. Keep an eye out for our live videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.